guys, hope you're all well. Back on the engine. I have started doing the texture on the surface of this, but now I've got to the stage where really I've got to remove some more bits off it. I've got a load of tape over the top here because obviously we want to eliminate any rubbish going down there because that could be quite fatal to the engine. And yeah, I'm going to take that cover off. We're going to take this off here so I can get all under there and then get round here better, and hopefully we'll get that done today. Like I say, I've already started it, as you can see. There's other bits up here as well. These Enfields, where you got the two halves of the castings, and it's the same on every single one. Well, every one I've had, the castings are sort of off like that, and I sort of dress them so they look like they match again. And I know because I've had these apart before, the castings are really thick, so I've got plenty of meat to mess about with to be able to dress them back flush, which I have done on the front of this one. I think I've got to do that bottom one there, but when I've taken this off, you'll see what I mean, how mismatched each half is. It's quite bad actually, but with a bit of dressing up you can get them right. So I'm going to take this off first. This is obviously all the timing gears, which we'll take all them off and bag them up where they're safe, and then carry on with the cleaning. And I'll pick up the worst screwdriver I've got that doesn't fit. Luckily I've loosened all these off with Big Bertha here, because that fits an absolute treat, and obviously it's a bit overkill, but it doesn't chew the screws up. So we've got them started anyway. Oops. We'll clean all these screws up because these, surprisingly, are pretty good. They're not chewed up, which is a miracle, because people, literally like what I'm doing now, use the wrong screwdriver and slip out the slot. Let's get Big Bertha on the job. Yeah, you see that quite often, where it just using the wrong screwdriver and it slips out and just chews them up and then they're done. But all these are spot on, so they'll just have a clean up. It can get very expensive replacing all the fixings on these engines, so if you don't have to, that's a good thing. So yeah, in here you've got all the timing gears, and in the base is the oil pump. Which I will take the oil pump out and we'll check it all over, give it a clean, put it back in. But at least doing that, we can replace all the gaskets, obviously the filters in here as well. The oil pump's here and the filters down here. So as you know, this case in here is going to be powder coated. As you can see on the last video, I showed you a photo of a bike where they were done in black, and it looks all right. I've actually done one engine in the past where I've done the whole engine black, and that actually looked fantastic. It's sort of modernised the look a bit, if that makes any sense. So I've done the whole thing black and just done some highlights like the edge of the fins and stuff like that in sort of bare. I thought it looked all right. In fact, I'll try and find a photo of that and put it up. I think I built that before the YouTube days. done quite a lot before the YouTube days actually. It'd be nice to cover some of them again, like the BMW stuff, the calf racers and things like that, and everything else that we've got going on. Right, let's undo that there. That one. Yes. We'll probably still get remnants of oil come out of this. We'll start bagging all these bits up so they don't get covered in grinding dust and everything in here. Right, carefully give this a tap now with a wooden mallet or a rubber mallet and start easing it off. Make sure you've got all the screws out first. Right, wooden mallet. This one will do. There she goes. I don't like it when you see people who have gone and done that with a screwdriver. It's like, no! You give them a tap about and they do break free. She goes. There we are, we ain't going to worry about the gaskets, obviously that's getting replaced. That's nice, it'll all come off in one go, no scraping there. Oh, spoke too soon, it's bonded down here. I've got the gaskets, I've got one soaking in this side. I'll give that another blast actually. It's yeah, let me show you. It just helps soften the gasket up, so you don't have to go mad on the scraping and damage the surface. So if you're patient and just spray a bit on, leave it. I normally do it well before I get to that bit, so sometimes it's sitting there for half a day and basically turns the gasket to mush and you can get it off easy. Right, so you can see this side, we got all them gears which we will take off and bag up. Right, so on these, what you got to watch, the shims, very thin, easy to lose if you didn't spot them there and you just pull the gear off and they drop off. And on these, there's washers. With a quick glance over, everything looks all right. Next we've got to get this one off so we can get all this body off here. Now this, the nut's always easy to get off, but it's pulling this gear here can be a right pain. but we've got to get that off to be able to undo the 3 screws that are sort of hiding behind it slightly. I've heard of people, and I've never tried it myself, putting, I can't remember which one, putting one of these, a tooth out, to apparently get more performance or whatever. I've got a great bit of advice if you want more performance out your Enfield. Buy an R1. That should solve it. It's a really easy fix. Right, hopefully this will behave itself. It's a bit awkward to get in, so I have to take it apart to make it work. Right, let's see how that goes. Easy does it. Just making sure it ain't picking up any of the casting. I'm sure we ain't digging into anything else. We're just about clear, I think. And that's how it goes. When I first done that, I thought I'd broke something. Oh, no! Yeah, it goes with a bit of a thump. Alright, now to undo these 3 screws here, and we'll get the other bit off there. And get big burper on these so we don't chew them up. Oh, that's come undone. Far too easy. I've had some of them that are right pain. That was too easy. What's going on? We'll get new washers for these. There we go. Right, that should tap off with a bit of encouragement. There we go. Right, we can get into everything now, clean it all up properly, be able to get all under there on the engine and clean that up properly. Obviously all this be coming out and all getting replaced with electronics ignition. Right, we can see this a bit better now. So as you can see, we've got a big step. You see the joining the castings down here. So we've got a big difference from this side to that side. So I know from the past of stripping these engines completely that the casting is more than thick enough to be able to dress this side back. As you can see, that's what we've done down here, because this one had a big step in it as well. So we'll get on and sort that out first. I sort of got carried away there, just got stuck into it really, and you've sort of seen how I do all this with the Gearbox video, so yeah, I've sort of pressed on, and it's nearly there. I've got to spin a couple of the nuts off and clean them up properly and stuff like that. I've got all this off. I've cleaned that up, just needs a little bit of dressing up here and there just to finalise that. Then I've got to order a new seal for in there, so it's not worth building it back up with the old seal, and then we can build all that back up. So yeah, it's getting there. I've brushed the oil filler cap up because that's sort of chrome on these, but I'll give it a bit of a brush finish, so that looks a bit better. So I've just been messing about with it most of the day. It's quite late now. It's been a long day on this. It doesn't look much, but I've literally been on it all day. So it's got to be 7:30 in the evening now. So yeah, it's been a long day, but I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing these engine cleanups. It's quite relaxing. Still got a little bit to clean up down here. I've had all the studs out, cleaned them up. We've got all the old gaskets off and stuff everywhere. So yeah, it's getting there. So next I'm going to do a bit of a parts order for this. I've already got full gasket sets for them. So it'll be just stuff like the seals for this, like I say. We've already got the electronic ignition for this, which I will put in as this goes back on. What else we got? Yeah, it's just I'm cleaning some of the nuts up on there. That's about all I've got left really. Then we'll give it a good swill out, double check everything over for wear and tear, although it's looking pretty damn good, and then we'll be on the build back up. I've sort of been toying around with this cover as well, because this originally had that on. I don't really like it. It looks a bit cheesy if you ask me. But yeah, so I've tried it with one of these on there that's got the fins on, which I think matches obviously as you put the head and everything back on. It sort of matches all the fins on that. But we'll see how it goes as we build it up. Also, what I've got to do on this is build the oil lines. As you've probably seen on previous ones, I build my own oil lines, which look a lot better than the standard ones. So I've got to see if I've got some the copper pipe for that. I think I may have. If not, I'll order some. So yeah, it's getting there. It has. I know I've probably skipped a bit today, but I'll say it's all pretty much the same as what went on with the gearbox, really. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day. And tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to be on tomorrow yet. I'll decide when I get up, I think. See what time I get up. But all in here has been done. All them bits have been dressed up. You can have a look. You see all these castings match now. You know, it's only so far you can take them. You know, although these castings are really thick, you still got to be careful you don't start taking big chunks out of it. But all this was a real big mess when you started looking at, at it closely. So all that's been dressed up all around here. So that was, I say, it was all shapes. I say that's been brushed over. All the studs have been took out, all cleaned up. Yeah, if I do use this one, it'll be repainted. It's got some marks in there, some chips, so that'll be all sorted. Possibly the same colour as the barrel, so that's going to be black. So yeah, probably just redo it black. Yeah. Now we've got texture. I don't know if you can see it. We have texture all over the engine now, instead of in patches like it was. Spin it round. Yeah, the texture's all over it. I've tidied this breather up a bit. I've not screwed that all the way in yet. I'll do that when
when it's ready to be built up properly. Obviously the copper pipe comes off that and drops into the chain guard that we made. But it's getting there. That's a big chunk of work done today on that, and I think it's a lot better. This bolt's only put through there temporary, that's why it's still a bit mucky. Obviously the front engine mount goes there. So there we go. It's a little bit better. So that's me. I'm going to go and get cleaned up, do a little list for this with the new seals and everything that's needed, and wait for them to come, then we can start building it back up. I'm going to take the barrel to be blasted to get all the old paint off that and redo that. I think next clean up on this is the cylinder head, which is the worst part to clean up on these things. Although, let's go and grab it a minute. Although it's filthy, it doesn't look too bad. I have seen far worse. So, yeah, there's probably a few hours, 2 or 3 hours work in that, just to glance over it and get it all dressed up and that. Like I say, I've seen them far worse than this. So, although it's dirty, it won't take long to clean up. The hardest and longest part is to get in between all the fins and get it sorted. But it won't take too long when I get stuck in. But yeah, that ain't bad at all, really. Not bad at all. As in the casting quality, it won't take much dressing up. Anyway, I think that's my day done. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.